Imagine being stripped of everything you have, your clothes, your possessions, your freedom, locked in a small, empty apartment, forced to rely on sweepstakes winnings for survival. This is the disturbing nightmare that comedian Tomoaki Hamatsu, better known as Nasubi, endured on the Japanese reality show Denpa Shonen Teiki Kensho Seikatsu. This disturbing tale exposes the depths of which reality TV can sink, blurring the lines between entertainment and psychological horror. In 1998, Nasubi found himself among a group of hopeful participants competing for what seemed like an exciting opportunity in the entertainment industry. Little did he know, he was about to descend into a nightmarish ordeal. The show, called A Life of Prizes, presented Nasubi with a seemingly straightforward challenge. He had to survive in a locked apartment with no possessions, clothing, or food. The only resources at his disposal were magazines filled with sweepstakes entries. The goal was to accumulate 1 million yen worth of prizes, which is approximately 8,000 USD. Stripped of his dignity and left vulnerable, Nasubi entered a world of isolation and despair. The apartment became his prison, devoid of any human interaction or comfort. As the days turned into weeks, Nasubi's mental and physical state deteriorated. Starvation and loneliness took their toll, as he resorted to eating raw rice and pet food that he had won to survive. The dog food became his main food source, as he couldn't cook the rice. He won prizes that were useless to him, such as a bike, which he couldn't use in such a small room, a television which didn't have antennas, and movie tickets. During his whole journey, he didn't have anything to wear. He had only won a pair of women's underwear that were way too small for his body. He was becoming increasingly skinnier, while his hair and fingernails were becoming longer. The only solace he had was the eager hope of winning prizes from the sweepstakes in the magazines. The only usable thing he had won was a PlayStation, which he would spend hours on playing. However, later realized it was a huge distraction to him and decided to only devote his time to filing out sweepstakes. Nasubi's mental health deteriorated, leading to having conversations with a stuffed animal that he had won as one of the prizes. After 335 grueling days, Nasubi finally reached his goal of 1 million yen in prizes. He was given back his clothes and blindfolded, believing he was about to receive a special prize. He was taken to South Korea and was given a day at the amusement park. Sadly for him, after the joyful day, he was taken back to the apartment and presented with yet another challenge: to win enough money through sweepstakes to afford a flight back to Japan. The goalposts kept shifting, with Nasubi having to achieve increasingly higher targets. Finally, after enduring 15 months of psychological torture, Nasubi was flown back to Japan. Upon arrival, he was placed in another apartment, where he instinctively began undressing, expecting the challenge to continue. However, something immensely unexpected happened. The walls of the apartment fell away, revealing a live television studio filled with a cheering audience. Unbeknownst to Nasubi, his entire experience was being live-streamed to an audience of millions. Initially led to believe that his recorded footage would be edited for later broadcast, Nasubi discovered the horrifying truth. His confinement was being live-streamed to the world. Viewers witnessed his gradual descent into madness, with graphic overlays censoring his nudity, earning him the nickname Nasubi, meaning eggplant, due to the eggplant graphics used to cover his genitals. The sheer psychological torment of being watched and ridiculed in real time added another layer of horror to his already distressing situation. Being confined in such a small space meant that his speech slowed, as he became detached from reality. The once hopeful comedian now struggled to comprehend his surroundings. Surprising to most, the show gained immense popularity, with millions of viewers returning every week to witness Nasubi's agony. The haunting question remains: What does this say about society when such disturbing content captivates the masses? The psychological toll on Nasubi was immense. He struggled with adjusting to regular life, experiencing difficulties with wearing clothes and engaging in conversation. It took time for him to find stability and recover from the trauma he had endured. Despite all he's been through, Nasubi managed to rebuild his life. He embarked on a successful career as a comedian and performer. In recent years, he has used his platform to advocate for mental health awareness and share his story of resilience. Nasubi's journey serves as a cautionary tale about the dark side of reality television and the lasting impact it can have on its participants. The true horror of Nasubi's story lies in the twisted allure it held for millions, exposing the darkest corners of human fascination with suffering,